Today, Mercury stations direct, ending its recent retrograde experience in Sagittarius and Scorpio. So Mercury will be going direct again, helping us move forward in our communication and information and technology. We also have the moon in Pisces moving through its conjunction with Saturn, with Neptune, and then entering Aries. And the moon will enter Aries at 5:07 p.m. Pacific time. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Saturday, November 29th. Thanks for being here. So we continue with this Pisces moon energy. We had the Pisces moon at first quarter Thursday night, Friday morning, and that brought a challenge. So we are continuing to do this work of connecting with our spiritual needs, finding ways to do good and be love in the world, right? Share your heart, share your truth, share what is good and what you see good in the world. Focus on that. Let that grow, right? Feed it so it can become bigger. So those bigger picture spiritual needs, and there may be a need for courage to do such a thing, right? To expand into love. It shouldn't require courage, but sometimes it does. And so this energy of the square, the first quarter square between the moon and Sun in Sagittarius, and then the square between the moon in Pisces and Mars in Sagittarius, and then the moon joining with Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. We have this need to really step up our game in terms of how we find goodness in the world, how we grow goodness in the world, and how we share of our hearts and our gifts with appropriate boundaries, right? To get all the right balance here. And it's always changing. So don't be hard on yourself if you got out of balance or you didn't have a good boundary. It's always the chance to get it right as you go forward. So look at where you need to update, upgrade, be more clear in your communication about what you need, how you can participate, how you can help, what you can do for others. It's that balance. So as the moon joins Saturn, again, focusing on resilience in terms of spirituality and spiritual needs. Mercury going direct today also means that Mercury in Scorpio energy is activated. So the water energy has been kind of at the forefront all week, and we've got that water energy highlighted again with Mercury stationing at 20 degrees Scorpio. So the energy of communication and speaking your truth, but also listening to your intuition, listening to your inner wisdom, paying attention to where that flow of energy is. Pay attention to what is true when you get below the surface. In other words, don't take things at face value. Look deeper. Understand that things are more complicated than they appear on the surface, but don't lose yourself in that process of seeing how complicated things are, right? It's also possible to feel overwhelmed by all of this water energy. So get grounded, take care of yourself. It's just an opportunity to connect with what your body needs, what your soul needs, what you need emotionally, right? Maybe some things need to flow through you. So an opportunity to pay attention and listen to your own intuition about what you need and listen to the way that you know what you need, and you have to pay attention and listen to remember sometimes to connect with that. So the energy of Mercury stationing also brings a heightened need for information and communication. It kind of brings something to the surface about where we need to communicate or share information. So there may be something surfacing about how you have communicated or what you need to communicate. And again, trusting your deeper intuition about what is true and right for you. So the moon continues through Pisces and joining with Saturn brings in that need for strength, self-confidence, self-trust, trusting your own needs on that spiritual level with Saturn in Pisces, getting clear about your own practices, your own, where you need discipline around having your spiritual needs met. So does that mean, having a boundary so that you have time to do your spiritual practice? Or does that mean being honest with yourself about what helps and what doesn't help? Or, looking at your own deeper needs around what you need spiritually, what supports you in that bigger picture, and how you connect with what makes life meaningful, right? What is true in that bigger picture. And then the moon joins Neptune at 29 degrees Pisces, activating again that anaretic degree, that final degree of Pisces, the ending that is on the cusp of the beginning. And so there may be some letting go, there may be some feelings coming to the surface, there may be a need to connect with your dream, with what matters to you, and also to let go at the same time. So feel it, but also let go of attachment. That Pisces energy says, there is a flow and you cannot understand it, right? You cannot control it, is really what it is. So let that flow flow. Trust the flow, but connect with, what's true and important and meaningful for you, with what makes life a good place to be, right? And again, it's not a question. It's not, is it a good place? Is it not a good place? It is really about in what ways is life good, and remembering those and connecting with those. And so maybe writing it out, writing what you love, where love dwells, what is good in the world, where you see kindness, where you see growth and inspiration and beauty. So it exists, right? It's just about reminding ourselves where that is. And then the moon enters Aries, the birth point, the new beginnings, the need for action, the feeling of instinct and impulse that is driving us to start things, to move, to make decisions, to take action. So that's later in the day, 5:07 p.m. Pacific time. And with that shift of the moon into Aries, you might feel a little bit more need to move, a little bit more energy that says, let's move this in a direction. Let's not just sit in the feelings. Let's get moving and do something. So those are my thoughts for today. We, of course, continue to have background energies of Neptune at 29 degrees Pisces, Uranus at 29 degrees Taurus, getting ready though to not be at 29 degrees anymore. Uranus is retrograde. Neptune will be stationing direct on December 10th. Mercury is stationing direct today. So things will begin to have a little bit more traction moving forward over time. We'll see that movement happening and things unfolding in more of a clear direction, especially, coming up in the next few months. We're going to have Neptune and Saturn going back into Aries, where things do need to find their place and get moving. And we will see what that looks like. But while both are in Pisces, is the time to connect with what's your purpose, what's your passion, what's your dream, What can you imagine that is good, and how do you connect with that and awaken that sense of meaning and purpose in your life? Thanks for being here. I'm Marina Orms. You can learn more about me at transformationalastrology.com, my member site. You can sign up for a free account there and have access to more in-depth content to supplement what I share here, as well as book readings, and astrologyheals.com is my main site. So thanks for being here. Thanks for hitting the subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will see you next time with more astrology for unshakable self-care. Bye for now.